Hey guys, it's me again. Wanted to go over my new next project is making superworm beetles. They're different from mealworms. With mealworms, they can stay in a colony and they will eventually turn into a pupae and they will emerge a beetle. It's different with superworms. Superworms have to be separated as individuals without any stimulation, no food, no water, and in complete darkness as best you can. So that seems like a lot, but that's what we're gonna do. So what I did was I contacted rainbowmealworm.com. They have just about every kind of feeder insect you can imagine, plus all the food to feed them and many, many more products. They're not paying me for this. I sure wish they would. But what we're gonna do is just quickly go over what I've done so far for anyone who wants to get started with mealworms, or excuse me, God, I'm gonna say mealworms 100 times, and I only ever mean superworms. The website is rainbowmealworm.com, but we're talking about superworms only. So today is April 27, 2025. It's just a piece of masking tape that I put on for each of these so I can remember when I did this. Let's look at our products. This I bought from Walmart. It is a basic organizer. It has 18 compartments. They are probably about 2 by 2 inches, something like that. Well, I guess it says so right there. It's 1.75 inches. Is that right? No, that's the height. Whatever. Anyway, so these are about 2 inches around. Thereabouts. Plenty space. So what I did was I already took a drill and I pre-drilled one hole into each slot. That's my dog down there. But anyway, so I drilled a hole into each slot. Now, what you have to remember again is as long as you leave your superworms in a community or colony, they are going to consistently rub up against each other. And all that stimulation of crawling around each other, moving about, and that communal environment, they will not turn to beetles ever. It's completely different than a mealworm, which will eventually turn to a beetle. So in this case, some people will gut load their stock, their breeding stock that they're going to turn to beetles. Some don't. They just throw them in there and say, let the best survive. In my case, I think that's ridiculous. So what I did was I took this container. I like to recycle and reuse whatever I can. This is the container. It's about 6 inches or so around and about 2 inches deep. And you can see I didn't put a whole lot in there. I wanted to, of wheat bran, I wanted to really stock it heavy with food so I can get them gut loaded. Yes, wheat bran is a food. Before anybody tries to say so, I already know that. But I want something better. So I picked out the best 20. I had about 200 of these that I ordered from rainbowmealworm.com. I got them earlier this week, I think around Tuesday. Today is Sunday. I let them settle for a day or so in their enclosure. Feeder setup that I put them in. I'm feeding Ackies. So I need to feed Ackies and I need to turn some worms into beetles to make more so I don't keep spending tons and tons of money trying to feed them. So I decided to take the path of gut loading. Gut loading is when you feel as many nutrients, vitamins, minerals, and hydration in your specimens as possible before they go through this very difficult stage and transformation that requires a lot of energy for them to get there. So I chose, because they love this stuff, they're like nuts over it. This is Missouri Better Bug Gut Loading Diet. It's for just about any feeder insect, high calcium, omega-3, Provitamin A, it's for crickets and feeder insects. This is an 8-ounce package. I bought it at PetSmart. It was about $15, which is highway robbery. It probably cost about 50 cents to make. Petco has it for more money, so it's absurd. But this is what it looks like. It's this really stinky green powder. I think some just went down there. That's okay. That's what the box is for. So we have them set up with this. And I also used some Fluker's brand high calcium cricket diet. Says that it's perfect for crickets and other feeder insects. So that's only $5. I forgot where I bought that. I think I got it, actually I do remember now. I got it at the expo weekend before last. There was a reptile expo in Pensacola with Show Me Reptiles. And one of the vendors that came up from Tampa, I bought that from her. That's a good price. That would be $2 or $3 more at the pet stores here locally. So I bought a female Ackie juvenile, and she came home in this temporary container. So I just recycled this. I'm a big proponent of doing that. Please recycle what you can. Reuse it. Don't go out and buy more. It's a waste. So I just washed this, ran it through the dishwasher. You can see there's holes all along the sides. Plenty of air. I did create, it's messy now, but this is just a piece of Reynolds wrap to stop any kind of moisture from escaping from this paper towel. Look how clean it is on the other side. I just took a paper towel and just tore it in half until I got it to fit inside there. And then I just simply laid it in there. I took a couple pinchfuls of this and just sprinkled it right here. Just right through here. And then I took the Flukers and just put it on top of it. I didn't mix it in. I just let it be. So I had a bar of green going across from there. And it was wild because within 1 to 2 minutes, those superworms started coming out from under this and just anywhere in this wheat bran here and coming out. They were coming out like the zombies in the music video Thriller from Michael Jackson back in, I was at 84, 85, I don't know, I was like 7. So they went nuts over this. They've been eating like crazy. And then yesterday I put another batch of both of those in there. And I had some more water. So I think I did a fairly decent job of getting that done. So much so that you can see it looks like one of them went through a molting, which is interesting because it's this one. Now, I sat and thought about this before I made the video, whether or not I wanted to have this guy here who just molted go through this stage. But I thought, you know, I picked each one of these out of the nearly 200 that I had available from that I purchased. And these look like the biggest, the best, the healthiest, the best movement, the strongest. So I thought, you know what? That's my experiment right there, is to see how a superworm does right after molting, going into forced into phase for the pupae stage, so we can make some beetles. So again, this is about, hang on, let me open this. I'm trying to hold this and hold the phone just at the same time. So again, from here to here is about 2 inches, and you can see most of them are 2 inches or better. So super hardy, super healthy. So what I wanted to do, let's look at this one first. So I decided I have 3 rows of 6, which makes 18. So what I wanted to do was have a row just open and clear in the middle, separating where they only have connection to someone on their left or right side. And not someone in the middle also. And I'm sure they could probably see or sense that there's someone there. I don't know. I just split them up. I actually wanted to do 20 only, so I could make 2 breeder bins for 10 each, hoping I get a fair number of males and females. To my knowledge, you cannot sex a super worm in this worm state, but you definitely can with a few indicators, a few markers once they emerge into beetles. So hopefully we're going to have a pretty fair number. I guess we're going to have to hurry up and wait to see how that goes. So I had to buy a second one because I only wanted to do 2 packs of 10. So that's why is another reason why I just had this extra hole. Instead of having one full container and then one container with only 2 slots, I just thought, we'll leave the middle rows out and we'll do our best to use this. So I always encourage, write what you have, what you're doing, and the date and where it came from if you can. So in this case, they came from rainbowmealworms.com. This is Superworm. Today's date is April 27, 2025, and it's Sunday. So I'm going to take this and toss it. I'm going to take this right here because it has so much of these 2 products mixed in. You probably can't see it very well in the video, and this isn't great lighting, but there is a lot of this dark green speckled throughout here. So, and it's probably a cup to a cup and a half measuring cup of wheat bran. So I'm just going to put that in there with the 150 or so mealworms that I'm going to use as feeders. And I'm very interested to see this guy. I think I'm going to put a little piece of masking tape here and just put my molter, the one that molted, I guess, into a different, that just shed its skin, and just see how that one turns out. But I know it sounds dumb, but I recognize this one of all of them. For some reason, I recognize him. It might seem crazy, but I do. There's something about the markings on him that's really different to me than the others. I know. Even saying that makes me feel dumb, but I do. So I put him in this corner. He's my special one, so I'm going to see what he turns into. Watch him die. So we're going to close these up. I have a dark tote. It's dark gray with a lime green lid, and what I'm going to do is put both of those in there, and I'm just going to cover the top with a dark colored towel so we can continue encouraging airflow to come through the towel. And in the next 2 to 3 weeks, we should have little black beetles in there. So that would be our plan. So like I said, you can choose to gut load or not. I chose to. I want them to go in as healthy and as strong as possible. They need no stimulation. They need to be removed the stimulation the best you can. The more I think about it, the more I wish I would have bought a third one so I could alternate every other one. So worm, no worm, and then just have a whole empty row and then do that again. So as long as they're touching and moving and crawling over each other and staying in a communal environment, they will never turn to beetles because they are superworms. They are not mealworms. They are not the same. So I just want to make that clear. That's really all I have. I will make another video once these guys emerge. I'll let you know how long it took. We have our date, so we'll know. And then how many boys, how many girls, and what our breeder setup will look like and what our method is going to be. Some people use a like a stair-stepping 3-drawer set. I chose not to do that. I watched enough videos. I've tried it before. It's so messy. It's such a big waste of time for me. There's other methods that are easier and much cleaner with a lot less effort and, most importantly, a lot less interaction with these guys. I think the least we interact with them, the better. Let them do their thing and just get out of the way. And so that's what I want to do, is just let them have their space and keep me out of it. So we'll go over all that in the next video for looking at our beetles, and we'll talk about sexing them. And hopefully I can get some good lighting and we can get some good views, and we can try to see how many boys and how many girls we have. So as always, I say, if you ask questions or post comments, I'm not going to read them. Sorry, I'm not. As I get older, I realize, and my doctors confirm, I'm having some memory loss and it's not getting better. So that's not something I'm going to talk about, the medical condition. But I make these videos for myself because I don't know how much I'm going to remember and for how long. So I get to keep doing this as long as I can watch the video. And I have my YouTube channel that has, I think, 1 follower maybe. So this is really for me, but I thought since I'm gonna do this, instead of making the video private, I'll just make it open to other folks in case they want to learn. There's plenty of videos out there that, like I said, this one's for me. I won't be reading the comments. People are so mean, and I don't need all that. Life's too short for nasty people, and I also won't be able to answer any of your questions because this is what I'm telling you is all I know. So this should hopefully encapsulate my full body of knowledge, turning a superworm into a beetle, and about gut loading or not, you can or you cannot. I choose to. I want my worm warriors to go to battle fully prepared and armored with all the nutrition possible. I think that's the best and smart way to do it. You can choose not to. It's dealer's choice. So that's all for now. Signing off. Next video will be a part 2, and that's when we see how many made it. One thing I will encourage is please do your best not to disturb them once you place them in their dark spot. The more you get them out and you take a look at them and you peel back the lid or the towels, the more you're going to stimulate them. They need to go into a quiet, almost state of paralysis, and their mind will change and they will start to change their form. But the more you're in there fooling with them, the more you're in there banging the box, the more you have a kid, God, in there banging on something or yelling and screaming, the worse it's going to be. Quiet, dark, still. That's what they need right now. The hard part is staying vigilant to not feed or water them, not provide any bedding. This is their air. This is all they need. So we just need to leave them alone and stay strong and don't bother them. So gut loaded, hydrated. We even got one to spin out for us and to molt, and I think we're off to a great start. So good luck if you guys want to try this method or any other way. I don't know how else you're going to do it because this is how you get there. So thanks. Have a great day.